Hi everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to a new video, and a really interesting market video. It's right behind me. We're going to go and check it out. The place that I'm going to go and show you is right in front of us. This is a rather large building, and this is a very well-known food market. Now in Russia they like to call them rynoks, and it's not a supermarket, it's not a chain store. It's a series of individual vendors that are selling food. And if you're wondering where I am here in Moscow, this is actually the main bus station. And then across the road is the railway station. And this is Odintsovo, which is in the southwest of Moscow. Very big hub for buses and trains for the southwest of Moscow generally. There's plenty of buses going all over the place, and there is other markets nearby. There's also a lot of very typical Russian housing, and the market is actually made up of two parts. The indoor area, which is actually on two levels, and then there is an outdoor area as well. I'm a little bit more covered up today. I've got my beanie on and my winter coat. It's overcast and it's around about 3 Celsius, so it's slowly getting colder. So what I might do first is show you this outdoor area and then head on inside. Today is Tuesday afternoon and it's just gone 4 p.m. It is starting to get a little bit darker earlier each day, and they've got these outdoor vendors which are always interesting to come for a walk around and to see and have a look at what's the current seasonal item. Actually, for now we are just about to head into mandarin season. They also have persimmons as well, and then these different stands actually have all the different fruits and vegetables. Now this is midweek. The busier day to come would be on Saturday and Sunday, and there'll be a few more vendors. But as you can see, every fruit and vegetable is available. Now the prices do vary quite a lot seasonally here in Russia, in case people are always checking the prices or pausing the video. Dried fruits, dried nuts. There is sunflower seeds, and if you want some peanuts, and the prices will vary based on what is the current seasonal item or where they're coming from. So naturally things like potatoes and carrots, which could be grown locally. Some of the fruits would be maybe from a nearby CIS country or another country altogether. However, even in the off season, raspberries, strawberries, if you want to make salad, you've got every possible leaf vegetable that you could want. And outside here it's definitely more market-like. You'll see the difference when we go inside. It seems a little bit more organized. But I think in Russia we love shopping this way, coming to have a look what's on display and trying to figure out what we're going to cook, take something home and try to make perhaps some soup now that it's a little bit colder. Cabbage, tomatoes, all of the classic items. There's even some pumpkins back there as well. It's probably hard to see how big this actual market is. It spreads over the entire block here, and we just want to focus and concentrate and show the food. However, there is some other market stalls. On the second level it's all of the non-food items, and you've got vendor after vendor on this side of the street here. You can also get quite a lot of different varieties of different fruits, like all of the different grapes, tomatoes, and it's really a matter of coming and speaking to the vendors and trying to figure out what's the tasty thing of the day. Normally they'll always give you some good advice, which is the better tomato to buy or the better grape, but plenty of choices. This actual market is about half an hour away from where I live, and this is considerably bigger than my local rynek, and there is a lot more vendors and things to choose from. However, now I see that the mandarins are on full show. So there is actually signs with the prices as well, so you can, figure out what you want and how much of a certain item that you want. And if you do live locally here, which almost everyone that would come here lives probably within walking distance or a short drive away, they'll get used to the different vendors and which person is selling what, and figure out what they want to buy. Walk in the side entrance here, and I just noticed on the side of the building here there's a pub and there's also a hotel attached as well. Now, I've been here many times before and I never noticed them when I've come to this market. It's also a very nice tea shop here as well, where you can grab yourself a cup of tea or coffee and you can buy the tea leaves to take home. So we're going to head on inside, and the market is open from 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. Very normal trading hours. Let's go and check this place out. So there is a second level which has a lot of other shops, particularly clothing stores. There's an electronics store and all sorts of different market stalls. So the actual market itself is broken up into different categories. So over here we see fish and meat, and then there is also some trading rows with fruits and vegetables like we saw outside. And then all of the different vendors that you see here are all individual companies, and normally they've got employees that work for somebody that would own the shop, or possibly the owner is working. So of course the fish market part of it, lots of cured fish, also caviar, crab, salmon. So I think they've got some with live fish, and then lots of different types of cooked fish or smoked fish, and then there'll be some frozen items mixed in there. And we're just waiting another month and we'll be able to have some caviar. The actual vendors really want you to buy caviar year round, but in Russia we generally only buy it leading into New Year, which would be December going into January. So there is a few different vendors. Now they do all look the same, but they're all slightly different. I know that's a bit hard to understand. But any cut of a fish that you like, they are also preparing for the holidays as well. So slowly some of the decorations are going up. Actually back here they've got some live fish and then whole fish as well. So this place will be generally more busier in the morning, so from opening till lunchtime. And when you're here in the early afternoon, most people are at work. And the people that you'll see shopping here probably on a day off, or lots of retired people and people who live immediately nearby. So you've got these two aisles here with different meats. Now depending on the stall that you go to, some will have signage and some won't. That just depends on the individual vendor. And unlike a supermarket where things are packaged, in here they're all basically whole cuts of meat. So if you want a certain cut, you can ask the different butchers to do that for you. And also there'll be some cuts of meat that perhaps aren't so typical in the supermarket. We've got some nice lamb chops right there. And then also chicken, beef, pork, turkey. Have a look at those. The big turkey legs are right there. Maybe they've got duck. I think duck and chicken as well. Where I live, we do have a market very similar to this, but much, much smaller. This particular market is considered one of the best in the entire Russian Federation. It's actually won multiple awards for the best market. And the way it's laid out, the way it's designed, and the amount of different vendors here. And they're very proud that they've won so many awards. They've even won awards for their holiday decorations as well, which is really interesting. So it's interesting for me to show you what is considered one of the best markets in all of Russia. If you're wondering who generally shops here, it's really the entire population of Russia will come to the local rynek where they live, and particularly if it's close by. Like my wife is a good example. She'll prefer to come to a place like this. She'll get to know the different vendors. She'll have her usual meat guy, her usual chicken lady, and they know what she wants or what cut she might want. Also, they might even give you a bit of discount as well, especially if you're coming back multiple times. And there is every cut of meat that you might possibly want. So it's actually on both sides here. My wife likes to make the soups with these cuts of meat. And then chicken as well. We've got an air fryer now, so we make chicken wings in our air fryer. And you can get them in any type you like. Even small baby chickens. Now, if you're not inclined to like different meats, maybe it's not ideal to see this, but it's a part of everyday life in Russia. And just the choices. I mean, you're walking in here, so the meat continues on this other side on the left here. So there's probably about 50 vendors. If you cross from left to right, they also have the meat separated with also halal meat as well. And then if you want any cut of meat or chicken, also salo if you like. They've also got eggs on the top here, so you can get what would be considered farm eggs versus the commercial ones from supermarkets. This middle aisle right here has different prepared food. So if you want something that's already cooked and ready to serve, things like salads, potatoes, cabbage, different cutlets, you can take it home, put it straight in the microwave, and dinner is ready. And they've got a whole section of it right here. Korean salads. I think it's kimchi. It's one of them. And look at all the different choices. A lot of these are all different pickled salads, pickled seafood. It's just interesting to see the individual shops. If you want things in jars as well, so something a little bit bigger. And then all of the pickled vegetables. Pretty much anything that can be pickled will be in Russia. Even got pickled watermelon as well. Plenty of mushrooms. So a lot of this is sold by weight. So they've generally got different containers that you can choose the size that you want. Olives. So you've got all different types of olives. Now I understand that olives aren't produced in Russia. They probably are on a micro basis, but almost all of them are imported Korean salads. There's even more of them. Does anybody else like these? I know I like the mushrooms. But you've got every possible choice. Oh, pickled cauliflower is very nice as well. Actually, pickled gherkins, pickled tomatoes. And you've also got the different cutlets here. So these would be, to some people, beef patties, but in Russia, cutlet. You also have some different vendors with different types of sausages and cured meats, smoked meats, and lots of different cured meats in all sorts of different flavors and types. And again, the way you shop, you generally let them know how much you want by weight, and they'll let you know the price. And it's as simple as that. All these different sausages, and just the amount of choices as well. It's like salo heaven here.
Very, very tasty.
Yes, I agree. So the lady there said the word salo, which is kind of the fat, if you like, and you slice it off. Normally have it on some bread, and it is very tasty. I completely agree with her. And just the amount of choices that she had. And then we also have the indoor part with the fruit and vegetables. Now there isn't a lot of difference between outside and inside. You might get them a little bit cheaper out on the street, but I think it's really very similar. My wife is a good example of, she goes to the same fruit and veg family at the market where we live, and she'll even not go on a Monday when they don't open. Some of the vendors don't trade on certain days of the week, so she'll even not turn up on certain days. Have a look, you can even get some different drinks, cola and Fanta, and these other fruit flavored drinks. I really can see why this place has won awards for the best market in Russia. And maybe people do drive from other parts of the city to come shopping here because of the selection and the choices, and also the friendliness of the staff. I think that's really important when you come to these sorts of markets, how friendly everybody is. You can also buy different rices by weight, and also spices as well. So you can just get a scoop or a spoonful, and then generally they've got a mixture here. So if you want to marinate some kind of meats, and actually generally the vendor will put his own mix together for you and give you something a little bit special. It is early afternoon, so there isn't that many shoppers here. It's impossible to come at the ideal time when somewhere like this is full, because you'd really need to come on a Saturday or Sunday or non-working days to experience it at its busiest, when everybody has the day off. Also got some honey as well. Also some different flavored teas. More nuts and dried fruits. It's really almost endless, the amount of choices that you can come and choose from. I think it really matters a lot how good of a cook you are, and I'm not the best. So when I walk around somewhere like this, I'm always wondering what to buy and what's the best deals. And you can go vendor to vendor and maybe haggle the price a little bit. I know for the time that I go to my local market, they're always giving me a little bit of discount because I know I keep coming back to the same people all the time. I really just want to focus on the food that they've got in here. And I know most people are going to comment that there isn't any shoppers in the store, or it's all full and there isn't people buying things. Now, I can't find the ideal shopping time. I was actually in the area to meet somebody for lunch today, and I thought it was a great opportunity to come and make a video and show this place. Costa Rica, or is it Casa Rica, on the watermelons. And have a look at these. Are they giant grapes? Someone can let me know what they are. There is all sorts of different fruits. Now, I will say this again because it is very noticeable that there's higher prices on certain products because it's absolutely out of season. And then for them to come to Russia from another country, most of that price is logistics. But when it comes into season, then the price drops very quickly. And that's very noticeable across all of the different fruits and vegetables. I'm actually walking towards the back of the market. I didn't even know it extended back this far. Now you can see the building from outside, how large it is. But normally after the first few stalls that you go to, you find what you want and you're happy. Look at all the different cheeses there. And then all of the different types of sausage. The actual market goes all the way down to the end. And we're in the sausage section. So it's just a matter of finding your favorite thing or maybe a recommendation from the staff. What they'll do is with the things like cheese, they'll just slice off how much you want. The same goes for the different sausages as well. Now, they're always wanting to sell you more than what you want. So you always just find the middle ground. How many types of cheese are there? So this whole aisle here on the left are different, I guess, cheese makers. Is that the right word for them? It's a lot of choices of cheese. They also have some different types of cottage cheese as well. Also honey, if you want some different types of honey. I'm not sure what flag that is. Bread. Here are all the other cottage cheeses. Do you put the S on the end, or is it cottage cheese? Or am I saying it wrong by saying cheeses? I guess there's a lot of them, so it makes sense. Does anybody have a favorite type? There is so many different types. Wow, it's phenomenal. I do want to say a very big thank you to the management of this market. What I normally do is I'll let somebody know that I'm going to make a video, show them my channel, and where you're perhaps seeing people like staring at me, they're wondering what I'm filming and showing. There isn't that many English-speaking content creators probably walking in this market. So thank you so much to the staff that work here and the people in the administration. It's so kind of you to allow me to make a video. Now, there isn't too many of these different stalls where you've got these mixed items, and this is a lot more typical of what you would see in the smaller markets around Russia, where they've got everyday supermarket items mixed in together with the different vendors. And the very typical way is just to write the price with a pen on the item. And this is very normal and very typical. And also, a lot of these markets, going back many years ago, sold a lot of the things that you couldn't get in the federal chain supermarkets. Now, of course, it's quite a few years later now than when the markets in the 90s had all of the unique items, and you can slowly find things. in other shops. However, just the selection of things like cottage cheese or sour cream makes these places very unique. This is actually how you'll normally buy. You'll let them know which size container that you want, and then they'll cut or weigh out what you want based on the size of container. I just noticed here they've got some cakes as well. So maybe somebody's birthday or a celebration. Cookies. So these you'll actually buy by weight. And again, you just get a few pieces. You don't need to buy the whole box. It's not necessary. But some very nice cakes. I just noticed on this far side they've also got a alcohol market. This is very impressive. Now there is a lot of beer and wine shops in Russia. They're normally standalone chain stores, and places like this are not as common anymore as they used to be. But they have a lot of very unique items and a lot of products that you wouldn't get in the corner alcohol shop. And a lot of premium and high-end items. Have a look at these different bottles right here. Very unique and ornate. And of course, a lot of very well-known Western brands. But just the amount of choices, I didn't notice this before. And they've got everything set out so neatly and so organized. Even all the miniature bottles as well. And then a lot of wines, champagnes. And that's something very interesting to see, the amount of choices sort of tucked away in the side of the market. Would be interesting to know the amount of different products they've got in here. I would have to say it'd be more than 2,000 different wines. And I'm being very conservative just looking at the shelves. And they've got every price point that you might possibly want to win. From inexpensive to high-end. A lot of choices. I will make a point of not bringing my wife to this market if we're ever in the area, because my wallet will be much lighter when we walk away. It's very easy to come in here on an empty stomach and spend far more than what you were wanting to. And I think just looking around at a few people wandering in now after work and just staring at all the delicious items. There is something for everybody. If you're a cheese lover, if you want meats, sausages, fruits and vegetables, it's really definitely worthy of the awards that this place has won. And you can definitely see a difference when you go from one market to another. The selection and the amount of unique products as well. As I head on out of the market, I really hope you've enjoyed this video and the walk around. And I was trying to understand what the name of this place is, and it translates into English as the Courtyard. And I wonder at some point if there was a different layout or different format of market here. In the days gone by, really most of the market would have been right by the railway line and where this bus station is. And this would have been a very big outdoor market. And what's slowly happened over the years, they've made the indoor section. It's obviously heated and warm, so come winter time, people will be more happy to shop inside than on the street, and that's very normal. As I try to cross the road, I need to find my bus to head on home. Thanks everybody. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and put in the comments. My hat's looking a little bit funny today. My wife is always upset with the way I'm wearing my hat incorrectly, but I think it's fine. I will put the information about this market and the map location. It is quite literally next to a railway station that you could get coming out of Moscow here, or multiple different buses. This is quite a busy spot here. Everybody now coming home from Moscow from work. So most people will come off the train and then look for one of the regional buses to go out into the suburbs of Odintsovo. And the same for me. I need to find where my bus is. It's somewhere here. If you want to follow me on social media, the link is right here. And if you want to see a different video, perhaps a different market video, it'll come up right now, and you can keep traveling with Russell. Okay everybody, I'm off on another adventure. Bye.